Welcome back to episode 2 of the Aberdeen rebuild. As you can see, we're a bit later in the season than we would like to be after the transfer window. That's just because I had a few things that I wanted to try and get done and sealed before we brought you back to after this transfer window closed. In regards to the season, we've started with exactly the same tactic. I'm building the team around this tactic because they did so well last year. But as you can see, we started off fantastically inside the Scottish Premiership so far. As you can see, haven't lost a game yet, and we drew against Celtic 0-0. Level on points, similar goal differences, and we've did some fantastic business inside the transfer market. The only issue we've got, the squad's a bit small. So let's get into the transfers. So with regards to our transfers, we've seen Duke go out to Besiktas, £3.9 million we sold him on for. Um, just because he wanted a transfer, he wanted to play with someone better. So we didn't want to stand his way and cashed in on that £3.9 million as well. Topaz, we also sold him for 1.3 million just to get some more funds. Jensen couldn't get a work permit for him, so we cashed in on him. So a little bit of money there as well. Marco van Ginkel sold him as well, got him on a free last year, and managed to get 325k for him as well. Not a lot of money, but remember, we're in the Scottish League, so every bit of money we can get helps when it comes to transfers. But that was not just the only one we sort of managed to deal with in regards to transfers, which was good. Um, we managed to recuperate some good things as well when it came to signing some more players back on at the club. Um, One thing I forgot to mention in the last episode, Nathan Ferguson, unfortunately for us, he decided to jump ship partway through the season and went to Shanghai port inside of China. So we didn't manage to keep him, which was unfortunate because he did have an alright season for us. Next, we went and signed an ex-Manchester United player by Brendan Williams. Sorry, we signed him in on a free transfer as well, which is a fantastic capture from us. Playing 3 games so far and already getting a goal on his tally. So coming into this season, we signed a lot, and I mean a lot of free transfers, as you can see from the list. We signed an Arsenal centre back, which was a really good pick, in my opinion. Really well-rounded stats at the age of 21, and so far he started off really, really well. We also went and got another Arsenal player that was released from them as well. 7 games he started so far. Edwards here, 3 goals so far, played really well. As I say, stats are really good when it looks as it looks on paper. McNally, we went and got him as well. Ex-Chelsea youngster. He's came in, started off really well. 6 games, 2 goals. Got really good stats and a lot of room to develop on. And got ourselves a goalkeeper, Christian Walton from Ipswich Town. We got him on a free transfer. Got some really good stats, and we really did need help and back up the goalkeeping position because we just were so lacking in that department. A familiar face to Scottish football, we went and got Hadji. So Hadji obviously had his time at Rangers. Unfortunately for him, Rangers actually released him, which was fantastic for us. So as you can see, we picked him on a free transfer. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists so far, and really shining in these Aberdeen colours. We went and got Collins here. Another player we just needed to bolster the defence a little bit more. Got him on a free from when he was released from Cardiff. 7 games so far, 1 goal, 1 assist, playing it really well for them. Went and got a CDM by the name of E.P.2. Was released from the Turkish side. He's came in 3 games so far. He's had 1 goal and he's playing solid in that midfield. Went and got another youngster here by the name of Luke. He's come in on a free transfer, ex-Wolves back in the day as well. Premier League experience. He hasn't played any Premier League football in the actual game. He's played a lot of Championship football in the game. But yes, he comes into Aberdeen to help give us some reinforcements in the midfield. We've went and got Salar, I think it's pronounced Salar, maybe along those lines. We've brought him in on a free transfer. 3 games so far, nothing on goals or assists. He started quite poorly. Hopefully he can pick up the rest of the season because we are training him in a new position, which is going to be that centre midfielder on attack role. Humphreys here we've brought in on a free transfer. He's left Chelsea after he was released. 7 games so far, playing really solid at the back, and it's nice to see some of his stats are already starting to improve. Another one, ex-Manchester City, Maximo Perryone, I think it's pronounced. He's came in. Obviously, Manchester City signed him for 8 million back in the day. He's came in on a free transfer. Got 7 games so far under his belt with 2 assists. Was on loan at Como the year before that as well, where he played a lot of football. We went and got a youngster by the name of Lewis Jackson. I seen him, picked him up after Manchester United. Released him. He's went on loan straight away to Dunfermline in the Championship of the Scottish League. So hopefully he can get some game time under his belt, and then we can hopefully integrate him into the first team next season. And then we went and got Spence, the ex-Tottenham right back. This guy used to be a really massive pickup back in the old school FM days of when he was at Middlesbrough. Now, not so much because of his stats and his injury proneness as well. He's got a lot of that, but he came in 2 games, 1 assist, played solid in those games. And speaking about injury proneness, he got an injury and is out for the next 4 days, which isn't too bad, but hopefully the injuries won't hold him back. And then we thought, why not? Josh Wilson, who we had on loan from Manchester City last year, was released from Manchester City, so we poached him and got him on a permanent deal. For some reason, it says we've spent 115,000 pound on him. That's not correct. We paid nothing. He was a free transfer. As you can see, had a solid season for us last year. 33 games with 13 assists and 3 goals. Hopefully, he can start again this year with another fantastic season under his belt. So far, no goals or assists, but he's having a strong appearance when it comes to getting his games in. And a one I really enjoyed getting as well, Mason Holgate, ex-Everton. He's came in after he's loaned at the Championship side at West Brom. Hopefully he will help bolster the defence. So as you can see, a lot of free transfers were utilised this season, with a total of 7.25 million going out. So as you can see, picking the best XI, it would look like this: Wevington, Hop and Edwards up top, with Maximo and Saleh in the midfield, with our CDM who was there last year, potentially going to cash in on him, 33 years old now, so he's getting on in age. Got Collins at left back, Humphreys, Holgate, Spencer and Walton as well. Bench is looking quite good as well, but as I did say, as you can see as well, if we look at the squad, it's very thin. I mean, very, very thin. We've got 21 players out of a possible 25, so we're 4 men short of a full squad. Hopefully this won't destroy our season. Hopefully we can have a better season than we did last year and potentially clinch that Scottish Premiership. Looking at the results now, as you can see, we did a lot of games during the pre-season where we lost a lot. Got a couple of wins, but nothing too massive. Then Premiership started off really well. Williams and McNeely getting their goals, beating Motherwell 2-0. Went and played Besiktas, which won 4-2 in the Champions League path of qualification, which was really good to have. Then we beat St Mirren 3-1 away from home. Then we played Besiktas away from home, to where we got knocked out of the Champions League knockout qualifying round, 6-2, which was a shame, but it just wasn't meant to be. Then we went and won the League Cup 6-4, played Kilmarnock and beat them 2-0, and then played Celtic and managed to draw 0-0 with them away from home, which is a massive result. Went and played Hibs, beat them 4-0 as well. And then obviously we've been now drafted in the Europa League instead of the Champions League. Our first game against CSK Sofia, we beat them 3-1, which is a really good start in that division for the Europa League. Hamilton, we played them, beat them 2-0. Dundee winning 3-1 in the quarter-final of the League Cup. And then St Johnstone beating them 4-1 at home in the Scottish Premiership. So starting off really well. Unbeaten in the league. Only thing where we dropped off was that Champions League. So far, we are technically unbeaten overall, other than the qualification path of the Champions League. So we started off really, really well, if I do say so. What we're going to do now is we're going to simulate this until the end of the season. As you can see, we haven't got any money. We're overspending on everything in regards to the wage budget. It says we've got 2 million left in there. I'm guessing the board just allocated us some more money, but we're not going to be able to utilise that now because the transfer window's over. So you can join me at the end of this season, where fingers crossed we can snatch up our first Scottish Premiership trophy. So the end of the season is upon us, and we finished second place. A lot of losses and a very poor end to what I thought was going to be a fantastic campaign. As you can see, we did do a little bit of transfer business by our top goal scorer now, Pellegrini. We brought him in on a free transfer in partway through the season. But honestly, I'm a bit upset with how we finished this season. Finishing second place is still really good because we're 20 points away from Rangers, but to not even get close enough to Celtic is crazy. We're a total of 8 points out from that title, with Celtic only losing one game to Hearts. So Celtic didn't lose one game to us; they drew 2 games with us. Upsetting, but let's have a little look at the schedule itself. So as you can see, a very big rough patch in areas when we've started to do things. So starting with Dunfermline, semi-final, got beat off them 2-1. Really poor from us. I mean, the team in itself, we shaped up really well. Pellegrini, Edwards, Hope, and then you've got a nice midfield free running off the back of that as well. Just, yeah, I'm shocked. I mean, they really gave us a good game. We controlled the game, but didn't take our chances on the day. Shame to say that. Um, we went in the Europa League phases. Did really well. Got beat off Stuttgart 3-0 at home, which isn't too good. But then another one. Getting beat off Ross County 1-0 at home is also a very big rough patch as well. Then getting beat off Rangers 3-2. Chelsea beat us 7-0 in the Europa League phase. Oh my god. That was terrible. Really poor from us. Yeah, Chelsea really came at us big, really big. 7-0. St Mirren 5-1. Oh my goodness, 5-1. St Mirren just absolutely bossed us. Barry McKay played really well for them. Wow, that's a big shock, mine. 5-1 St Mirren. Um, Kilmarnock 2-1 losing against them. Celtic beat us 4-0. I mean, these kind of games going in and losing 4-0, not taking our chances once again though. Poor from us, really. Really poor from us. Um, then we went on a really good run of form. Got to the Scottish Cup semi-final where we beat Hearts 4-3. 5-2 beat Hearts again there. And then drew against Celtic, but then lost in the Scottish Cup against Celtic 3-1 as well. So really rough patch of form. Obviously, that means that we didn't do anything in regards to winning anything. Didn't win the Scottish Premiership. Didn't even get through to the knockout rounds or even the league round of the Champions League. Finished as runner-ups in the Scottish Cup and obviously finished in the semi-final against Dunfermline in the Premier Sports Cup, which is a bit like the EFL Cup, I'm pretty sure, in Scotland. So yeah, very disappointing season when it comes to trophies. However, we'll have a quick look at the squad. How do we get on overall? Edwards, fantastic season from him, as you can see. A lot of interest coming in from a Saudi Arabian club, which is going to show at least we don't have a release clause on him, which is a good thing. We can negotiate a fair price if they come in for him. He will want to leave if the Saudi club comes in to try and buy him. 22 years of age, some really good stats on that board right there. Not a fantastic season overall, as you can see, 27 goals overall for Edwards. If I look at his history, he only got 10 goals in the league overall. So not fantastic, but at his first season, I'm quite happy with that. Pellegrini, he's came in. He has got a release clause of 17 million for foreign clubs. No one's interested in him so far. I mean, stats are solid for a player of him to come in on a free transfer. Obviously, we play him as that pressing forward. He's got the stats to show that he's a pressing forward. Going to his history, first season was 29 games, 21 goals, 5 assists, and 7.37 average rating at Aberdeen. What a good season he had for his first year here in Scotland. Well, biggest focus is going to be negotiating a new contract and getting rid of that foreign release clause. Excuse my voice, I am still ill. Everything is just hitting me at once, but these series need to come out thick and fast. So, fantastic season from him. Hadji, though, on the other hand, another good season for him. Similar to what he did at Rangers the year before in regards to his assists. More goals from him. 34 appearances this year for us. Fantastic from Hadji. Release clause, nothing in there for him. There's no one looking to sniff around and try and get him. He's playing in a new position in that centre midfield on attack role, so hopefully we'll see some sort of development there. We haven't seen much this year. Tackling and acceleration, not fantastic for this guy, especially with him being a midfielder in the centre of the park. But overall, nice season from him. Wevington, he's been here for, this is his second season with us now, back-to-back seasons. 11 goals this year, not as many as he did last year. Same with the assists, but overall, fantastic season. By the looks of it, he looked to have probably picked up an injury, which he did. Not massive injuries, but he still picked up injuries during this season. Some improvements across the board for his stats, and he's starting to look like a really good player that we've brought in on a free transfer from previous season. Hope having a really good season as well. Not as many goals. He didn't really contribute as much as he did the year before, but when he's featured and did well. Had an injury early doors in the season, 3 months that wrote him out for. This will be one of the main reasons why he didn't break back into the first team, which is unfortunate for him, but he has overall been a good addition to this side. We brought in obviously the Manchester City ex-player as well. He's getting some interest from Saudi Arabia. Has a release clause of 13 million, which is very highly likely going to get activated in the summer. So we have to watch this one. A mediocre season for him. 5 goals, 4 assists, an alright average rating as well for what he did for us. If I do say so, for coming in the Scottish Premiership as well. One player that we're probably going to look to move on in the summer, he has got interest coming in from Saudi Arabia, is the Norwegian here, the centre midfielder. He obviously has fallen off the pace now, 34 years of age and contract coming to the expiry of next season. Fantastic role that he's done here for us. He's been here 2 seasons. Last season he was fantastic. This year not as good as he was the previous year. Obviously the dip off in stats show that overall as well. The young English midfielder we brought in as well, he had a really good season as well under his belt at Aberdeen for his first season in the Scottish Premiership with us. McNeely played 16 games for us, didn't lift the absolute doors for his season. 3 goals, 1 assist. Average rating's alright, but plenty of room for this guy to get involved. He's only 20 years of age, so next season could be a big one for him. Nicky Devlin, player coming towards the end of his contract now. He's 32 years of age. He's starting to fall off on them physical stats as well. And actually, some of his technicals has dropped off. His dribbling's not fantastic as well. Maybe a player that we look to cash in on come next season, because that 32-year-old margin now is where he's going to start dropping off on his physical stats. Right back is going to be 100% a priority come next season. Another player that we brought in off camera as well. We tried to get him in the summer. And we did it eventually in around the October period, was O'Brien. Lewis O'Brien, we brought him in, ex-Nottingham Forest. No, I'm wrong. Yes, no, I was right. Nottingham Forest. He went to Nottingham Forest from Huddersfield for 8 million back in the day. So as you can see, some really good stats overall from him. Didn't stand out as much as I would like them to, but first year in Scotland, and hopefully more years to come. 27 years old. I think, yes, he has. He's got an £8 million release clause in there, so very cheap for him. But if someone wants to approach him, we wouldn't knock them back. Josh Wilson, coming back from being with us on loan last season, had another really good season with us, but not as many assists as he did the previous year when he was on loan. I'm happy overall with how he's sort of developed as well, some increase in stats as well, leadership at 2, but that's improving slowly but surely as well. A big one that I thought was going to feature a lot more than he did was Brandon Williams. 9 games he only got for us, but overall didn't really feature as much as I would have liked him to have this year. It is a big shame from him, but I think it's just I think it's just based on the fact that Nicky Devlin obviously is playing a lot more, as well as obviously Spence as well. I forgot we obviously brought Spence in at the start of the season as well. He had a fantastic season for us. 22 games, 2 goals and 9 assists on the right-hand side for us as well. Obviously with Spence as well, we've got that release clause of £12 million. No one's sniffing around him yet, but if they're going to approach him, it will be in the summer transfer window as well. Overall, though, really happy with some of our players and the players that we've brought in across the board. And this team is really starting to gel together that little bit more over the seasons when they play together. So we'll just have to keep an eye on how it sort of gets on with the team. I'd like to have seen more players feature together, especially the likes of this guy here. I would like to have seen him feature a lot more. But overall, our season has been a successful one because of the players that we've managed to bring in and managed to feature in and around the first team as well. So It is fantastic to see that. So overall, we've seen Motherwell making offers for youngsters as well. I'm happy with the season. Hopefully, we're going to have a better run next year within the Champions League and things like that as well. Finances, the board haven't backed us overall. We're in a good overall balance. The projection for the next season is looking okay. The season after that, not too good, and then the season after that, really not looking too good. But obviously, we've got player sales to factor in as well because we've got a lot of free transfers that we can look to profit from next year. Wage budget, they've gave us £27,000 a week on the wages. So there is a chance to bring maybe two to potentially free transfers in next season, depending on what they do in regards to who gets released from what club. But we'll see what happens next season. We'll see who gets the offers on the table. We'll see how much money we make off players that get offers from Saudi Arabian clubs because we know that's on the fence. We know there's people sniffing around our best players. We're going to try our best to obviously get the release clauses off the contracts that we've got in there at the moment, but that'll all be down to what we do off camera and in the next season. If you're enjoying the series so far, don't forget, leave a like on this video. Don't forget to leave a comment down below who you'd like to see in regards to a rebuild next, because we are getting to season 3 now. We're trying to do 5 season rebuilds with these squads. If you would like to see longer rebuilds, so like 10 seasons and things like that, let us know in the comments down below. I will also leave a link to the end of this video as well, where you can get access to the full playlist for this one. We've also opened up a Patreon as well, where you can get access to the Ipswich Town save, as well as you'll be able to access the Aberdeen save at the end of this series as well. Well, thank you very much to everyone that tuned in today. Always have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Take care for now.